Alright, so good day to everyone. This will be our second video discussion for midterms. And with this, ito ang magiging total coverage din ng ating exams. Mainly yung pinag-usapan natin before na yung recipe standardization. And itong discussion na ito about recipe quantification and this one, standard yield computation. And standard yield tests. So, yun yung mga gagawin natin ayun yung mga pag-uusapan natin for this video discussion. So, without further ado, let's try to dig in with the discussion. Alright. So, ang recipe quantification, di ba, ang pinagawa ko sa inyo before na yung recipe standardization natin, wherein kailangan yung para ma-compute natin yung total cost talaga, total food cost ng isang recipe, we did a computation. And doon sa recipe, standard recipe na ginawa natin, meron doong nakalagay na total yield. And of course, that total yield, hindi ka naman gagawa ng let's say for example, na isang pagkain sa isang restaurant mo na ang total yield lang is, let's say for example, 5 or 10. Of course, you'd like to cook for your establishment a huge portion or pangmaramihan ang lulutuin mo. So, paano mo i-convert ang iyong standardized recipe so that you can produce a larger quantity of items or larger quantity of portion size or yun nga, total yield mo, diba? Paano mo papadamihin? Paano mo gagamitin yung standardized recipe mo na good for 5 portions lang into something na good for 100 or 500 portions? So yun yung aalamin natin for this first lesson, which is recipe quantification. Alright, let's begin. So, ayun nga, recipe quantification is the process of enlarging recipes with lower yields to adjust to meet the production requirements of bigger functions. So, again, ang standardized recipe kasi natin, meron lang yung specific number of yielded portions. So, oftentimes, pag magluluto tayo pang maramihan, hindi pwede yung recipe na yun. So, paano natin gagamitin yung recipe na yon para makapag-produce tayo ng mas maraming number of items? So, we have two methods na pwede natin gawin. We have here the factor method, the first one. If I'll be honest with you, factor method is the easiest and most direct na pwede ninyong gawin for quantifying your recipes. So, it is a simple method of recipe adjustment employed in food service operation. This is also known as yield conversion factor, and this requires only 2 steps. The first step is finding a conversion factor. You'll know this after a few minutes, and then multiplying the ingredients in the original recipe by that factor. So, unang mga ting kailangan gawin is to find our conversion factors. And here is what we will do in order to find our conversion factor. In every standardized recipe, there is already a specific number of portions na kayang i-produce ng recipe na yon. And that is what you have. That information is what you have in your standardized recipe. Kung ilan yung kayang i-yield ng current recipe na meron ikaw. Next, you have to decide what yield is required o kung gaano karami ang kailangan mo na yield, no? This information is what you need. So again, this is easily divided into the information that you have already, which is yung yielded number ng recipe natin. And then we also have here the information that we need, which is yung required na yield natin for that specific recipe or food. So let's say for example, ito. Ayan, and then what we're going to do is to divide the desired yield or yung kailangan natin divided by the recipe yield or yung information na meron tayo. So, dito sa example na to, wait, let me just open this para mas madali. Ayan. So, sa recipe na, sa example na ito, nakalagay, na the actual recipe has a yield of 5 servings. So, ito yung information na meron na tayo. This is the recipe yield or the information that we already have. And the function requires 55 serving portions. So, 55 ang kailangan natin na, number of portions. So, hindi talaga kaya ng recipe yield natin. Kasi 5 lang ang kaya niyang ma-produce. So, para makuha natin yung conversion factor niya, i-divide natin yung desired yield or the information that we need over the recipe yield or the information that we already have. So this is 55, nakalagay dyan, divided by 5, that is equals to 11. So ibig sabihin, 11 ngayon ng ating conversion factor. Now that we have a conversion factor, paano natin ito gagawin or paano natin ito gagamitin para ma-compute natin or para makuha natin kung gaano karaming ingredients ang kailangan natin to yield 55 servings. Ang kailangan natin gawin ngayon is simply just multiply the original amount of ingredient times the conversion factor. So, for example, 50 ml ang original na ingredient na kailangan in order to yield 5 portions. And then multiply it by the conversion factor, which is 11, we will now have a total of 550 ml. So, ibig sabihin, in order to produce 55 portions, instead of 50 ml ang gagamitin, we will use 550 ml instead. Same with 2 pieces, no? Regardless kung ano yung weight measurement niya. We have to multiply the original amount of ingredients times the conversion factor that we have here. And then if we will do that, we will have 22 pieces. So, ibig sabihin, for us to have 55 portions, we need to have 22 pieces of ingredient number 2. Ganun lang siya kadali, ganun lang siya kasimple. Kaya sinasabi ko na mas madaling gawin ang factor method. Mas simple siya at mas direct. However, for the sake of our discussion, I'm also going to teach you the percentage method. This one is a little bit tricky. Masyado kayong maraming gagawin na computation dito. Pero para lang meron din kayong idea kung paano ito ginagawa, we'll try to use this or talk about percentage method. So we have here a total of 3 steps. 3 steps of computation. So the first step that we have to do for the percentage method is to convert all measurements to the required measurement of the desired yield. Get the total combined measurements of all the ingredients. So, kung ano yung measurement ng desired yield natin, yun ang gagamitin natin kind of measurement at i-convert natin siya into that measurement. Lahat ng measurements ng ingredients natin, i-convert natin siya doon sa measurement ng desired yield natin. In this case, the required yield is in liters. So dapat i-convert natin lahat ng ingredients natin into liters first. So ang una natin is 1.5 liters. This is already in liters, kaya 1.5 na kagad. We will look at this table ha. Etong nasa converted weight ang titingnan natin na table. So 1.5 liters is the original weight of ingredient A. Hindi na natin siya kailangan i-convert kasi nasa liters na siya. So that is 1.5 liters here in converted weight. Next, original weight is 300 milliliters for ingredient B. Para ma-convert natin siya into milliliters, we'll just have to divide 300 ml divided by 1000 ml since 1000 ml is equal to 1 liter. Kaya divide natin siya and we will get 0.3 liters. And then lastly, we have here also 1 cup. 1 cup is equivalent to 240 ml. So ang gagawin natin, same with 300 ml, we will divide 240 ml over 1000 ml, which is the equivalent of 1 liter. And then if we will do that computation, we will have a 0.24 liters. So, ibig sabihin, 1 cup of ingredient C, if we will convert it into liters, that will be 0.24 liters. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add all of the converted weight in order to get this data. Ito, yung 2.04 liters. And this is what we're going to use for our next steps. So, yan. Tapos na, no? So, ang first step natin is to convert all of the original weight to the measurement of the desired yield. In this scenario, the required yield is in liters. So, we will convert all of the original weights of our ingredient into liters first. Yun ang una natin kailangan gawin for step 1. And then we will just add everything up. We will have a total of this 2.04 liters, and we will use this for the next following steps. Ayan. Next na. Next na is step 2. Step 2, compute for the percentage of each ingredient in relation to the total weight. So what we're going to do is to multiply 1.5 liters or multiply these converted weights first what we're going to do is to multiply the converted weight over here times 100 para makuha natin ang percentage value niya. And then we will divide it into the total number o total weight na nakuha natin when we summarized our converted weight. So in this example, this is what we're going to do is 1.5 liters times 100 divided by 2.04 liters. So gawin natin siya sa ating calculator. Let's see if tama ang sagot na nasa module natin. That is 1.5 times 100. We have here 150 divided by 2.04, which is yung converted weight natin or yung total converted weight natin. We will have 73.52529, which is when rounded off into the nearest hundreds, we will have 73.53%. So, tama ang nandito. Next, compute din natin tong iba. We have here 0.3 liters for ingredient B. We will multiply this by 100 in order for us to get the percentage, 30. And then we will divide it into the total converted weight, which is 2.04. We will have 14.705, which is when rounded off into the nearest hundreds, we will have 14.71. So, tama rin yung nasa module natin. Next, let's see for this one. We have here 0.240. We multiply it by 100 again in order to get the percentage. Next, we will divide this to 2.04, which is 11.76, which when rounded off to the nearest hundreds, this will be 11.76. So, yun. Yun ang step 2 na kailangan natin for percentage method. Makukuha natin yung percentage of the total. The next thing that we have to do is to multiply the percentage doon sa required yield natin. In this case, our required yield is 17 liters. Ibig sabihin, 17 liters ang kailangan natin ma-produce doon sa kailangan nating gawin na recipe. And what we're going to do here is to multiply 7 liters to the percentage of the total converted weight. And again, of course, if you will multiply a percent to a solid number or to a whole number, you have to move the decimal point first 2 places to the left. So, ang mangyayari dito is 17 liters times This is 73.53. So if we move our decimal point 2 places to the left, we will have here 0.7353. If we will multiply that, we will have 12.51 or 12.5 liters. And tama ang nasa module natin, which is 12.5 liters. It means that in order for us to generate 17 liters of this recipe, we have to have 12.5 liters of ingredient A. Next, gawin natin siya for ingredient B. We have here, ayan. We have here 17 liters, which is yung total required yield natin, no? Or yung kailangan natin i-produce for this specific recipe. We will multiply this to the percentage of the total converted weight. Remember, move 2 decimal places to the left. We will have 0.1471. We will have 2.5 liters, so tama rin. For ingredient B, we should have 2.5 liters in order for us to produce 17 liters. Next, sa ingredient C naman tayo. Same method pa rin, 17 liters times move 2 places to the left. This will be 0.1176. We will have 1.99. When converted, when rounded off to the nearest hundreds, this will be 2 liters as a whole number. And we will just add everything up in order for us to generate 17 liters, which is 17 liters din naman talaga ang total yield required natin. So that's it for percentage method. And I guess with that, we can both agree, we can all agree that factor method is a lot easier to do. And it's a lot direct to do. Mas madali talaga siyang gawin. And hindi mo na kailangan ng convert. So, ito yung mas mai-recommend ko sa inyo if you will have your own businesses in the future. Some reminders lang when converting recipes, no? The equipment is not factored in. Hindi kasama yung equipment sa pag-convert. We are just converting ingredients here. So, hindi rin kasama yung mixing and cooking time. Of course, if we will cook a large number or large batch, mas marami ang oras na i-google natin doon, and we cannot measure the time needed with the methods we used a while ago. Cooking temperatures as well, iba rin siya, syempre. And yung shrinkage and recipe errors. Hindi lahat kasama ito when we convert our standardized recipe. Ang kino-convert lang natin, or what we're only looking for is the required ingredients that we have to have in order for us to yield a larger portion size or larger portion yield. So that's it for recipe quantification. Next, we're going to have this discussion in standard yield tests. Standard yield test. Ayan. In order for us to better understand kung ano yung standard yield na ito, let's first go or answer this question. If you as the business owner should have to choose between option 1 and option 2. Option 1 is an unprocessed toppings. Let's say, for example, ang business nyo is rice toppings, and then you have 2 options to go for your recipe or for your menu item or for your food, no? First is, ikaw ba ay gagamit ng unprocessed toppings wherein 150 pesos per kilogram ang presyo niya, and meron siyang loss of 5% pag due to cutting and cleaning. Or, if we will have a processed topping instead, which is priced at 155 kilograms with no particular loss. So kayo, as business owners, ano ang mas pipiliin ninyo? Are you going to choose this one, the option number 1, which is priced at 150 per kilogram pero meron kang loss of 5% due to cutting and cleaning. Or, we will just go with processed toppings, which is priced at 155 per kilogram. So, mas mahal siya. Pero, wala kayong loss percentage. Para natin malalaman kung ano ang mas better na option dito. So, this may help you decide what to choose. For option number 1, kailangan muna nating alamin kung magkano yung 5% na nawala sa atin. And in order for us to compute kung magkano yung 5% na nawala sa atin, we will multiply the 5% doon sa presyo na 150 per kilogram. So, lumalabas na 150 times 0.05. Remember, if you will multiply percentage, you have to move 2 decimal places to the left. And the decimal point here in a particular percentage is nandito sa pinakadulo niya. So, move 2 decimal places to the left. This will be 0.05. So, ibig sabihin, 750 pesos yung 5% na nawala sa atin. Ngayon, syempre, yung nawala sa atin, kasama yun sa cost natin. Hindi lang 150 ang cost ng option number 1 natin. Kailangan din natin isama or idagdag yung nawala sa atin. Kasi nawala na siya eh. Lost na siya. It's a waste already. Kaya dapat, yung waste na yun, sinasama pa rin natin yun sa costing natin kasi binayaran natin yun. Yung nawala. Kumbaga parang anong nangyari, bumili ka ng, let's say for example, bumili ka ng sibuyas, and then sa dami ng binalatan mong sibuyas, hindi, yung mga balat na yon binayaran mo yon. So kasama dapat siya sa costing. Kaya kailangan nating alamin kung magkano yung nawala sa atin doon sa ingredient na yon. So, kailangan nating i-add itong 750 doon sa 150. So, ibig sabihin, pag in-add natin yon ng option number 1 natin is a total of 157.50 pesos. Or, since there is a loss of 5% from the 1 kilogram, therefore, 1 kilogram toppings will only lead to 9.95 kilogram lang. This is also one thing that you can do. Pwede nyo na lang din i-convert or pwede nyo i-multiply yung 1 kilo since 1 kilo nga per 150 na may loss na 5%. So, ibig sabihin, kada kilo may nawawala sa ating 5%. Para makuha natin kung gaano kalaki yung 5% ng 1 kilo, we will multiply as well 1 kilogram times 0.05. We will have yan, 0.05. And then we will just subtract 0.05 to 1 kilogram. Ibig sabihin, kada bili natin ng 1 kilo ng kada bili natin ng 1 kilo ng option number 1, ang lumalabas lang na magagamit natin doon is 0.95 kilogram. So, ibig sabihin, lumalabas, lugi tayo. Kasi, ang laki na nawala, that is 0.05 kilogram, and malaki rin yung nadagdag sa atin, 7.50 pesos. So, mas practical, pag pipiliin natin yung option number 2, which is 155 kilograms with a loss of 0%. So, yun po ang essence ng standard yield. Lahat ng ingredients natin ay hindi lahat yun na i-utilize natin. Meron at meron tayong wastage, meron at meron tayong shrinkage na tinatawag natin, meron at meron tayong loss. Kada ingredient, lahat yan. No? Ultimo yung itlog, next sa itlog kasi per piece yung ano niya, no? Yung bentahan niya. Ano bang pwede pa? Yung mga gulay, mga prutas na kailangan nating ipil at hiwain, tanggalan ng mga buto, yung mga ayan, makikita nyo buto ng mga meats na binibili natin. meron at merong loss, meron at merong shrinkage, meron at merong wastages. So, yun yung pag-aaralan natin dito sa standard yield. So, why is yield testing done or needed? Guide how much and with what specification of ingredients are to be used. Facilitate accurate costing and monitoring of cost. This is one essential thing while why we do standard yield. We also have here facilitate pricing, of course. Kailangan natin din i-take into consideration ang wastage natin. And improve profitability. So all in all, regarding financial statements pa rin siya. So we have different kinds of yield tests here. We have raw food test to determine the count, weight, or yield, per unit of perishable items. Excuse me. Raw food test, ayan, dyan papasok yung mga, yung mga fresh ingredients natin. Next is yung canned or bottle test. These are used to check the yield and actual count of the different varieties of canned bottled food items. In this test, the drained weight, count, and uniformity of the products are taken into consideration. So, dapat, hindi, kasi syempre yung mga cans natin or mga bottles natin, meron yang nakalagay na, nakalagay na bigat per bottle or per can. Pero, mas maigi kasi pa rin talaga pag i-measure mo siya one by one. Most of the time kasi meron dyang inaccuracy sa pag-weight or oftentimes hindi naman lahat nung nasa can or nasa bote ay gagamitin mo. Like say for example, you have to discard the juices or the yung sabaw. For example, na kailangan mo, halimbawa yung sa mais, mga canned corns, hindi mo naman kailangan, baka hindi mo kailanganin, no? Depende sa recipe mo, yung tubig na nandoon sa loob ng canned corn kernels. So, you have to discard that para makuha mo yung pinaka bigat na kaya mong gamitin for your recipe. Butcher's test, ayan, nandyan yung mga trimmings natin. Byproducts have been considered. Tatanggalin yung mga taba, mga silver skin, mga buto, or kung ano-ano pa. And then cooking test, dito papasok yung yung pagdecrease ng weight ng mga niluluto natin dahil nag-evaporate yung moisture and fat niya. Shrinkage ang tinatawag natin dito. Pansin niyo yan pag kayo ay nagluluto ng manok, ng baboy, ng beef, lumiliit yung pagkain natin. And the reason for that is because of shrinkage. And dahil doon kasi, syempre pag nagkaroon ng contact yung moisture or yung tubig nung karne natin, mag-evaporate yan. So mawawala yung moisture na yon, liliit tuloy ngayon yung ating karne. Same with fat. Yung fat natin, magre-render out yan, matutunaw yan sa mainit na kawali. So, shrinkage din yon. Wastage din yon sa recipe natin. So, here are some terms to remember. AP weight is as purchased. Ibig sabihin kung ano yung bigat niya nung binili mo siya. EP weight is the edible portion weight. It means after all the loss, the wastage, and the shrinkage, yun na siya. Ready for sale for customers. Standard yield is also can be considered like an EP weight. After all the processing and preparation, yun yung yield of the ingredient. And total EP cost, kung magkano yung as purchase niya. Total EP cost naman is kung magkano yung EP weight niya. AP cost per kilo, loss, shrinkage, weight, waste, and percentage. So, ito yung mga terms na kailangan yung alalahanin. And then, ano po yung formula? Ayan. Napakadaming formula na kailangan ninyong aralin or intindihin. Pero, don't worry, no? For our exam naman, hindi ko ipapakabisado sa inyo itong formula na to. Most likely baka open notes tayo pag mag-exam tayo, no, dito sa part na to, kasi I understand that we don't really have to memorize the formulas. What is more important is to understand how the formula works. Kasi pwede ka naman kasi mag-search eh. Pag let's be practical, no. Let's be real. Pag kayo ay gagawa na ng sarili ninyong business, mag-search pa rin naman kayo eh kung papaano yung kung papaano mag-compute ng loss or waste, ganyan, or papaano i-compute yung edible portion. You will still look for guides or ways para guided kayo when you are doing your costing. So it doesn't really matter if you memorize the formulas. What's better is you understand how the formula works. So, ayan. Marami kayong formula na pag-aaralan. And, well, to really better understand the formulas, it's better if we will have examples. And don't worry, alam ko nakakalito kasi tong walang division, walang parang parang nakakabastos, sinalpakan kayo bigla ng napakadaming formula. So, I'll just send this to you as well. I tried to divide each formula doon sa doon sa mga purpose niya. So, we have here loss, shrinkage, waste, standard yield, EP cost per kilogram, and AP cost and AP weight. So, ayan yung na lang natin para mas madali nyo rin makita yung yung formulas para hindi siya ganun kamasakit sa mata. Bibigay ko na lang din sa inyo to. And for us to better understand the formulas, we will conduct an example. So example number 1. A rack of lamb is purchased at 250 per kilogram. After it has been cut and trimmed, it loses 5%. After grilling, it shrinks by 7%. Ano yung mga kailangan natin gawin ngayon? Or ito yung mga questions. If you bought 4 kilograms of lamb, how many kilos can be served? And at what cost per kilogram is saleable to guests? So first question, kung tayo ay bibili ng 4 kilograms of lamb, 4 kilograms of lamb, gaano kadami ang mapoproduce natin na pwede natin i-serve sa guest natin? So ibig sabihin, ang hinahanap natin dito is the EP weight or yung edible portion weight. And next, at what cost per kilogram is saleable to guest? So, ibig sabihin, ang hinahanap natin dito is yung EP cost or edible portion cost. Paano natin nasabi yun? Paano natin nalaman yun? Let's try to dig in deeper. If we bought 4 kilograms of lamb, how many kilos can be served? So, sa term na how many kilos can be served, ibig sabihin, ang tinatanong sa atin dito is after all the trimmings and after all the wastages and the shrinkage, ano yung kilogram na pwede nating maibenta doon sa mga doon sa mga guests natin? And magkano per kilogram yung isa-serve natin for our guest para alam natin yung cost. So, yan. The first thing we have to do is to identify the given. Of course, the given here is yung presyo. 250 kilograms, that is considered as the as-purchase cost or yung presyo niya pagkabili nyo ng rack of lamb. Next are the two percentage here, 5% and 7%. These are loss percent due to trimming and shrinkages. And then we have 4 kilograms, which is AP weight or the as purchase weight or yung bigat ng binili mong rack of lamb before all the trimmings, before all the shrinkages. So yung una natin gagawin, di ba sabi ko kanina, we have to look for EP weight, edible portion weight. And the formula that we're going to use in order for us to get the EP weight is this one. AP weight minus loss shrinkage waste. Simply put, AP weight, yan, minus loss shrinkage waste. First, the first thing we have to do is to, of course, get the 5% of 4 kilograms. Tulad ng ginawa natin kanina doon sa dito. Ayan. Tulad ng ginawa natin dito kanina, multiply muna natin yung percent doon sa presyo niya. Ganun din. Or ito, no? Multiply natin yung 5% doon sa bigat niya, 1 kilo, para malaman natin kung gaano karami nawawala. Ganun din ang gagawin natin dito. 4 kilograms times 0.05, that is 0.2. And then, sige, isa-isahin din natin dito sa formula para makita. We have to multiply 4 kilograms times 0.05, which is yung 5%. Makukuha natin is 0.02. So, ibig sabihin, 5% of 4 kilograms is 0.2. And then we will just subtract 4 kilograms minus 0.2 in order for us to get the edible portion weight, which is 3.8 kilograms. Pero, meron pa kasing isang loss, which is 7%. Remember, no? 5% is after cutting and trimming. So, ibig sabihin, hindi pa siya naluluto. And then, pag naluto na siya, it shrinks by 7%. So, ang gagawin natin dito is to get the 7% of the 3.8 kilograms. Kasi again, no, na-cut na siya, na-lost na siya. May trimmings na, kumbaga, nalinis na, yun nga, na-cut na, may trimmings na. So, ito na yung gagamitin natin ngayon na, na weight para makuha natin yung 7%. So, that's 3.8 times 0.07. We have 0.266, and then we will subtract 0.266 to 3.8 kilograms. 3.8 minus 0.266. We have here 3.53 kilograms. So, ibig sabihin, ang edible portion weight natin for 4 kilograms, sa 4 na kilograms na binili natin ng rack of lamb, after all the cuts, the trimmings, and after all of the shrinkages, ang edible portion or yung kaya nating maibenta sa ating mga guest ay 3.53 kilograms. Now, kailangan nating alamin kung magkano ang cost nito ng 3.53 kilograms. What we're going to do is to use this formula, EP weight. So EP weight is equals to as purchase weight, which is yung 4 kilograms, times AP cost per kilogram, which is 250 kilograms, divided by EP weight, which is ito, yung 3.53 kilograms. Again, open notes tayo pag mag-a-answer. Kaya okay lang kahit di nyo kabisaduhin yung formulas. It's better if you will understand how it works. So we have to first get AP weight times AP cost. So 4 kilograms times 250, that is 1,000. And if we will divide 1,000 over 3.53 kilograms, we will have 283.87. Ayan, 0.87 dito pero 0.29 sa akin or 28. Pero I hope you get the point, no? Meron ng something na baka mamaya iba yung calculator na ginagamit niya na computation or what. Pero that is the point of the formula or the lesson. We have to first know kung magkano yung total na binayad natin in order for us to get the 4 kilograms. Ang total na binayad natin para makuha yung 4 kilograms or yung AP weight natin is 1,000 pesos. So, ibig sabihin, kada 4 na kilo ng rack of lamb, we are spending 1,000 pesos. So, kailangan natin ngayon malaman kung magkano yung presyo ng rack of lamb natin after all the trimmings, after all the process. Kailangan natin malaman kung magkano yung presyo niya per kilo after undergoing all the process. And that is by dividing the AP weight times AP cost or 1,000 over the over the EP weight that we have, which is 3.53 kilograms. So, yon. Let's try some more, no? Or siguro, subukan natin gamitin tong given na to, pero aalamin natin yung loss or kung gaano kalaki yung nawawala sa atin. Ang given sa atin kasi syempre pag tayo as business owners, ang process niyan, ang process ng pag-iisip natin diyan is we will try to look for a standardized recipe. So after having that standardized recipe, meron tayong of course yung AP weight natin or yung as purchase weight before every process has been done. And then we have the total yield, 'di ba? Doon sa ating recipe standardization after all of the process, meron doon, 'di ba? Yung total yield niya. Total yield is, we can also call it as EP weight. So, ang gagawin natin para makuha yung percent ng loss is to just subtract EP weight over the AP weight or as purchase weight minus EP weight. So, tingnan natin dito. Ang as purchase weight natin is 4. And then, ang ating EP weight is 3.53. Or unahin muna natin yung 3.8. So, makukuha natin yung 0.2. Ibig sabihin yan, tingnan natin tong formula na to, loss, shrinkage, waste, percentage. So, dito lumalabas na yung 0.2 natin, let's multiply by, yan. 0.2 divided by AP weight. Ang AP weight natin dito is 4 times 100, nakalagay sa formula, times 100, 5. So, tama. Tama siya, 5%. Try naman natin dito, after grilling naman. So, we have here 3.8 minus 3.53. Again, no, kasi ang ginamit natin na weight dito sa grilling is yung na trim na natin or na cut na natin yung rack of lamb. Yan. Makukuha natin is 0.27. We will divide this to the AP weight, which is 4 kilograms multiplied by 100. We will have 6.75, or if we will round off, it's 7%. So, tama din. So, yun yung natural na proseso ng pagkuha ng wastage natin. Kasi, usually naman, ang given talaga, sa real life scenario natin, ang given talaga dyan is yung AP weight tsaka EP weight. Kasi, ang AP weight natin is, binili natin yung mga ingredients. AP weight naman natin is after ng buong proseso, gaano karami yung natira doon sa ingredients natin. So, yun yung given talaga. So, what we are really usually looking for is for the loss, wastage, and shrinkage. So, yun. Ganoon lang kasimple ang pag-compute ng loss, shrinkage, and waste percentage. And I hope you understand yung nangyaring computation natin. Alright. Let's try another one para for good measure. The purchasing department delivered 27.5 kilograms of ampalaya for function that has pinakbet in their course. According to the recipe, you will need 27 kilograms of sliced ampalaya. So, ibig sabihin, during the cutting and trimming, the ingredient loss is the ingredient loss is 7.5%. The question now is, what is the yield in kilogram and yield percentage of the delivered ampalaya? So, ang given dito is, meron daw binigay sa atin na 27.5 kilograms of ampalaya. Ibig sabihin, 27.5 kilograms ang ating given. Sige, sulat natin dito. AP weight, yan lang. AP weight is 27.5 kilograms of ampalaya. And then the next is, according to the recipe, you will need 27 kilograms of sliced ampalaya. Sige, lagay natin dito, required kg is 27 kilograms of ampalaya. During the cutting and trimming, the ingredient loss is 7.5%. So, loss, 7.5%. So, yan yung given sa formula natin. What is the yield in kilogram and yield percentage of the delivered ampalaya? So, ang kukunin natin muna is of course yung EP weight. Kasi tinatanong sa atin, what is the yield in kilogram? What is the yield in kilogram? Ibig sabihin is EP weight. Kasi diba nga sabi natin kanina, EP weight and standard yield almost the same shot. Identical naman din siya yung dalawang terms na yon. So the first thing that we have to do is to look for the EP weight. Again, we have to get first AP weight, 27.5 kilograms over here. And then we have to get 7.5% of our AP weight. So ang gagawin natin is 27.5 times 7.5%. Again, if we will multiply it, move 2 decimal places to the left, we have 0.075. Lalabas na 206. So 206, ibig sabihin yung nawawala doon sa ano natin. Doon 2.06 yung nawawala na loss kada 27.5 kilograms. So, ibabawas natin yung 2.06. That will be 27.5 minus 2.06 loss. We have 25.44 kilograms. So, ibig sabihin, ito yung EP weight natin or edible portion weight after cutting and trimming the 27.5 kilograms of ampalaya. Now, we have to get the standard yield percent or kung ano yung percentage ng 25.44 na ito. What we're going to do is to divide 25.44 over AP weight, which is 27.5 kilograms. Ayan. And then multiplied by 100. So, ibig sabihin, lumalabas na, tama ba? Tama naman. If we will round this off, magiging 93% siya. So, ayan yung standard yield percentage niya. 93%. Ibig sabihin sa 27.5 kilograms of ampalaya, 93% ang nagagamit natin sa kanya. Ibig sabihin, meron tayong 7% na loss. Actually, hindi nga siya accurate eh. Mas accurate to pag 92.5 ang nilagay mo. Kasi 'di ba ang loss natin is 7.5%. So, yun. Is the delivery enough to meet the production needs? Again, what we need is 27 kilograms. So, ang tanong, enough ba? Why and how much more or less should be ordered? Since the recipe requires you to produce 27 kilograms of sliced ampalaya, therefore, the delivery is not enough. Hindi siya enough kasi ang na-yield lang natin after cutting and trimming is 25.44 kilograms. So to compute how much more shall be ordered to produce a total of 27 kilograms of sliced ampalaya, ito ang gagawin natin ngayon. Kasi ang hinahanap nga natin is, 'di ba? Kung gaano karaming ampalaya ang bibilhin natin. So ibig sabihin, ang hinahanap natin is AP weight or as purchased weight. Kasi ang hinahanap natin this time is kung gaano karaming ampalaya ang kailangan natin bilhin para makapag-produce tayo ng 27 kilograms of sliced ampalaya. Ibig sabihin, after all the processes, after all the cuttings and trimmings, kailangan meron tayong 27 kilograms of ampalaya. Para makuha yon, we have to divide EP weight over the standard yield percentage. And the EP weight is 27 kilograms kasi yun yung kailangan natin, yun yung hinahanap. That is the given. Ang given natin is EP weight, this is 27 kilograms, divided by the standard yield percentage that we got earlier, which is 93%, divided by 93. Or, again, no, move 2 decimal places, 93. Ayan. So, ibig sabihin, kailangan meron tayong 29.03 kilograms of ampalaya as EP weight, as purchased, para makapag-produce tayo ng EP weight of 27 kilograms. So, I hope kahit paano naintindihan nyo, no, yung paggamit ng formulas natin. Again, you don't really have to memorize every formula. What we really have to do is to understand how the formula works and what to look for in the problem. Nakalagay dito, if we bought 4 kilograms of lamb, how many kilos can be served? Ibig sabihin, EP weight ang hinahanap. Kasi served how many kilos can be served? Ibig sabihin, kailangan na-cut, na-trim, at naluto na yung rack of lamb. So, ibig sabihin, EP weight ang hinahanap. At what cost per kilogram is saleable to the guest? Ibig sabihin, saleable to the guest. Naluto na, na-cut na, na-trim na, naluto na. We have to look for the cost of that. Pag naluto na siya, pag na-trim na siya. So, that is EP cost per weight, per kilogram, EP weight per kilogram. And then, dito naman sa next question, what is the yield in kilogram? Ibig sabihin, kung tinanong is, what is the yield in kilogram of the delivered ampalaya after cutting and after trimming ang hinahanap? Ibig sabihin, EP weight ang hinahanap. Yield percentage, standard yield percentage, medyo given na siya sa part na to. Is the delivery enough to meet the production needs? How much more or less should be ordered? Take note of the term, ha? This dito sa sentence ito, ginamit is ordered. Ibig sabihin, hindi pa na-cut, hindi pa na-trim, hindi pa nagkakaroon ng kahit anong wastage. Ang hinahanap is AP weight or as purchased. Gaano kadami ang kailangan nating bilhin na ampalaya para makapag-produce tayo ng EP weight or edible portion of 27 kilograms of sliced ampalaya. So, yun yung mas importante rito. Kailangan ninyong maintindihan kung ano yung hinahanap doon sa problem. And basically, that's it. I hope kahit paano meron kayong naiintindihan sa lecture na ito. If you have further questions, just feel free to ask me. Kasi I know that this can be confusing and I am very much willing to help you through this discussion. So with that being said, thank you so much and stay safe everyone. God bless.